How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. This podcast is hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the sport of bowling. You will get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this generation, who just happens to be the son of a living legend. So, without further ado, let's introduce you to the host of the show, Rad Rob Francois, Dr. Ocho, and the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. This is episode number 18, and as always, I'm your host, Rad Rob Francois, joined by the one and only resident doctor of this show, Dr. Ocho. Good evening, Och. What's up, buddy?
I want to go by the residential Dr. Evil from now on, but I know we have a copyright issue, but I think just from here on out, I should. Just, per my personality. Here, Rad Rob.
Joining us on the show is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5, Dr. Evil. What's going on, Dr. Evil?
That's not my name. Don't be an idiot.
You're a douche. As always, we are also joined by the sexiest man alive. The man who has gotten more action, seen more asses than a rental car. High as fuck. I don't know what else to say about him. It's
they all work.
Is that a bowling average? The highest fuck?
Johnny
Jr.
Jr.
My team's name next year.
What's up, Junior? How you doing tonight, buddy?
High as fuck. Never mind.
You're a don't listen to him, Johnny.
It's a good day.
It is.
Today's my Saturday. So
what?
Got to the gym, got some stuff done around the house, and feeling good this evening. Ready to dive into
based on your
stuff.
schedule? Based on your schedule, or because you're hanging out with us? Which one is it?
As far as why I'm off?
It's your Saturday. Is it your Saturday because you're that excited to pal around with us, or is it actually like you're a couple days off from here on out now?
Can I say both?
All right, I'll take it.
Right on.
I don't mind. Cheap plugs, I'll take it. Cheap compliments, cheap plugs, expensive plugs.
Well, good. Yeah, so looking forward to bullshit about what's new in the world of bowling and the way of life and all the other good stuff that we go through on this weekly broadcast. So let's get into it.
Oh, so we'll talk bowling tonight.
Maybe a little bit.
This fucking Bell, he's such a dick. This is why the show sucks, because you're doing that, Rob.
That's not why the show sucks, but hey, it is what it is.
You're hosting it.
Johnny, the RPI happened at South Point, your home bowling center. Did you happen to watch any of that there? Were you hanging out with the boys? What went on at the RPI?
No, I predominantly watched from the comfort of my home. Bowl.com and Bowl TV did a really good job of making it available to everybody. They had several cameras set up everywhere, so really, really good view of all the players at all times during the tournament. But no, these days I don't frequent the bowling alleys nearly as much as I should. I'm really only there on league nights, and unless I've got a very, very close friend that's in town that is begging me to come out, I typically try and stay away from not necessarily the bowling alley, but what the bowling alley is typically inside of out here. So I always get sucked into going into the casino and doing the other bad things whenever I just happen to be in the bowling alley.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do they have commentary on these on bowl.com and everything, or is it just cameras you watch? Can you switch your lanes, or how does that work?
You can switch your lanes. If you want to watch a certain match that's going on 21 and 2, you can exit that screen and switch over to 47 and 8 and see who's bowling on the other side.
That's a cool
I didn't watch. Yeah, it really was. It was great. I didn't watch the finals of the Regional Players Invitational, so I don't know if they had commentary on there. But I know that when you could switch lane feeds, that they didn't have commentary on those pairs. But they did have the scoreboard visible, so you could see the players plus minus as well as their score.
I got to get into that already then. I had no clue. Is there an issue with publicity with bowling? Is there an issue with the bowlers maybe not putting it out enough that there's an RPI and you can watch it on bowl.com? Like, I feel like I'm friends with enough people on Facebook. Well, I'm their life coach a lot of times, but yet I never know when these events are going on. And with phones, we got iPads, we got laptops everywhere we go. This should be visible to everybody, especially if unless you know about it. That's the unfortunate thing. I feel like they're losing something in their own marketing with amongst the bowlers. Maybe, I don't know.
No, those are all good points. Everybody's been trying to put a finger on what the cause of the decline of bowling is, and obviously you guys heard that Coley Edson is leaving the tour as well.
Yeah, big topic last week we discussed for sure. And that was more coincidence than anything, because you mentioned this thing on bowl.com. It's a clever website. It's easy to remember, yet I had no clue that it was on and it was available to watch. So, I mean, it's almost shameful that it is available and nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't really know, Oach, at this point what's going on, other than I'll always land on it's kind of behind the times. It's, look at how, when you go to bowling tournaments, especially professional events, you see the same 200 guys, same 150 guys every week. And these are guys from all over the United States. These are guys from all over the world. And they're like, the new batch of bowlers just seems to get smaller and smaller. And I can only foresee that continuing to happen. It's why bowling alleys are closing. It's why league bowlers are down. USBC memberships are at an all-time low. So it's almost a participation
decline. Not participation, because I know it's like one of the biggest participatory sports, but as far as competitiveness, the participation decline might be related to the lack of marketing at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention, with the lack of marketing, you miss out on, you get a lack of big time sponsors. That's really where our biggest issue is we don't have any massive sponsors.
Yeah, that's true. If Budweiser was like a headliner, you'd probably hear it. You'd see it on a commercial somewhere. See this on bowl.com, sponsored by Bud. That's there. Okay, there you go. So it all kind of makes sense, but you can't put your finger on one thing. It's like a steady diet of a handful of things. I just picture, because if you were on it, you'd be like on Facebook, hey guys, check me out. I'm bowling in the RPI this weekend. It's on whatever, and something like that. I would almost feel like even self-marketing for purposes of that would be something. But what do I know, man? I'm just their life coach. Fucking asshole.
I mentioned last week that I was on Facebook, and I just happened to see Facebook Live from the PBA with the Walter Ray Classic or whatever it was. So I didn't know what was going on. It just happened to be on my Facebook feed. And like I said, there was like 800 to 900 people watching it. So obviously a lot of people do know about it, and that's a decent audience for Facebook Live. But you're
a casual guy, though. For the casual person bowling wasn't just fans back in. I can't imagine it was only people who were into bowling watching in the 80s, because people who you wouldn't even see at the bowling alley know who Johnny Petraglia is, because they'd be like, oh, I remember watching that guy when I was a kid. And you just, in fact, there's only 5 channels back then too. But it was casual viewers were watching it on top of a bowler or a bowling wannabe. And
Johnny, we've had this discussion before, right? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. A lot of it has to do with the fact that bowling centers switch the way they market themselves. It turned into these fun centers with midnight bowling or cyber bowling, whatever the fuck they want to call it, and laser tag, and they're big time entertainment venues where bowling is really put in on the back burner. and it's not at the forefront. The
sport.
I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Sorry. Sports seems to have lost an identity. It's not 100% any identity right now. That's what makes it even worse when it comes to the marketing. You said, like you would sit on the couch and a casual viewer would watch bowling. That was kind of during a time when people casually watched cable television.
Yeah, that doesn't happen much.
I mean, just amongst the three of us, when's the last time you guys turned on actual cable and turned on like ESPN? Like I watch it on Apple TV, or I watch a series on Netflix, or I rent a movie on Amazon Prime, and I watch fucking Marvel movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but that Raiders-Chargers game, I'm sure, had a hell of a rating, though. I mean, there's still the sports still can bring it. It's great. And I'm not trying to compare that because I don't think that was ever fair for bowling to begin with. But much like their product is the same technically as it's been for how many years, and it is shit. Dude, I think you nailed it with the identity thing. I never thought about that because, like as Rob's saying, these bowling alleys, they want the arcade and they want laser tag and all that other stuff. And what are they? And that might be it. Like, what is their identity? They tried to go extreme route and then it didn't work because extreme wasn't bowling. That's all. It just isn't. It's like having extreme golf. You can't have it.
And then at the professional level, it's almost like the companies are more concerned with beating each other up and making the tiny-ass circle that they already have as comfortable as possible rather than trying to do what they could to get new people involved in the sport. And
expand together. Oh, shit. Well, it might be you're digging for a crumb, I guess it sounds like, because maybe they know their own pot is so big that sucks. That just sucks for everybody who does follow bowling then, for sure. Yeah.
You have, this company produced 15 bowling balls in the last month, so we have to make sure that we come out with 17. The war, it's just like kind of what's going on with the economy right now. It's the war at the top and the greed up top is making the majority of who goes bowling not go bowling anymore. Like, if I'm a guy that, I don't know, I make $2,500 a month, and I go bowling once a week, and I go into the store, I'm like, oh my God, I really want that new Black Widow Ghost. It's $229. If I save up enough money, maybe I'll treat myself on my next paycheck. That guy goes in there in 2 weeks, and the Black Widow Ghost is already old. Yeah. So then he goes and he buys that he saved up for, and he goes out to bowl. His friends are like, oh, nice fucking... Would you just buy
nice
that
artifact?
2 weeks. And simultaneously, what happens is the bowling alleys can't keep up with it either. And that's why they're closing. And that's why smaller pro shops are dying. So smaller pro shops are either just closing their doors or selling out to LLCs like the large corporations like a Bowler's Mart or a Strike FX or a Bowler X or any shop like that. And the big guns continue to make the money, and all the people that spend the money don't have any more money to spend.
But they can make money like that by producing. So I feel like you're almost like devaluing the dollar by making more money. You're making so many bowling balls that are obsolete in a week and a half. I don't see how. And I remember we talked about this, and I still don't get it, man. How do they make money? And is it just because they're not expensive to make, or is it because they market them up, or because they give them away for free to the tour guys? So
it can't be too expensive to make. I mean, we would sell an undrilled plastic ball in the shop when I was running my shop for like $59.95, and I think we paid $35 for it. So the markup is not even that high. On a pro shop guy gets his money in his drill fees, but so no, the markups aren't that high. But what the heck was I just going to say?
It was about mass produced bowling balls and how do they make money? Well, that was my question. Really.
Yeah, so the price of them is not too high. But what I was going to say is, what you said about devaluing the product, I agree completely. It's first off, if you can come out with a great bowling ball. And nobody has any idea that it's a great bowling ball. Case in point, Brunswick is doing it already. They're discontinuing the Stellar. Do you even know what the Stellar is? The Stellar's been out for like 2.5, 3 months, and they're discontinuing it already. It's like a movie failing its first weekend in the box office. That's how quick it goes away. And the devaluing aspect for me comes in compared to golf. How many drivers does TaylorMade make a year? 2, 3, maybe?
Maybe 3. I would have been. I'd be shocked on 2 actually, because usually they have their one style and then the other, and that's pretty much it.
Right,
and that carries until the new series.
They come out with the M2, and they have the big head or the small head, and it's $499. Okay, and now I know I could at least use this club for a year, and if I love it, I can either keep it or go sell it for $275 back to the store and get the new one.
Yeah.
So people had no problem spending $500 on a golf driver. They have no problem walking into a sporting goods store and buying a $230 metal baseball bat.
But also, it won't be as much as you say devalued. That driver, they'll use it for 8 years also, because if being an amateur golfer, that's the driver doesn't forget how to hit the golf ball in a year. They just come up with maybe a slightly better product, a different pitch, a different kick on the shaft, something so minute, but the driver's still going to be good. I mean, are these bowling balls still clearly work, right? Like, why? That's the part I don't follow. They clearly didn't forget how to hit pins in only 6 months.
I mean, you could throw any bowling ball and make it strike, Johnny, right?
Sure. I can.
Well, it's a good point because, like, seriously, when you think about what really makes a bowling ball different from another bowling ball, it's surface and it's engine. Now, surface is 85% of the game, let's be honest. And when you take bowling balls, what am I trying to get? I lost my train of thought again here. Shit.
About drivers to bowling balls. What's the difference between bowling balls, really? Like, why are there so many of them that are so different?
So, like, in other words, a polyester bowling ball goes straight on a bowling lane. A urethane bowling ball absorbs oil the second it hits a bowling lane. A pearlized resin or a resin bowling ball hydroplanes and then goes sideways when it sniffs dry. Particle bowling balls, which we don't even have anymore, used to hug the lane the entire way. Basically got replaced by asymmetric weight blocks.
But these are true differences. These are true differences, though. This is what you have. Yes.
So you have plastic. You had rubber, plastic, urethane, resin, particle, reactive resin, hybrid. Fine. You have all these different kinds of covers. You're going to tell me now, how long has resin been the thing? Resin's been the thing since 1993.
Yep.
It's 2022 now. We're going on 30 years, and particle is the only thing that even attempted to crack the surface, like changing of surfaces on bowling balls. All we keep doing is reintroducing the past.
And now we're going to urethane again. So we're already kind of.
So you're going to tell me you're going to come out with 75 to 80 bowling balls a year, and you're going to tell me that every one is the latest and greatest? Dude, you change the color. You put this cover stock on this weight block. You put this weight block in this cover stock. You make this one a hybrid. It's all the same shit. There are, like you said, little tiny advancements here and there. But for case in point, the new Roto-Grip ball is called the Idol Helios. It is like electric bright highlighter orange, solid, super crazy bright. It rolls identically to the original Idol, which was a solid magenta one from like 6 years ago. I guarantee you, if you put those two balls in the lane together, they would do the exact same thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's close enough.
No, I'd love to see the differences of, like, like what do they call the iron Byron that tests the golf clubs, that does the perfect swing, and it does show the difference between. I'd love to see a bowling ball rolled exactly the same way different bowling balls and to see how much different they truly roll. Is it a board left? Is it a board right? But you have to match everything, the speed, the revs, and would there be that much of a difference? I always wondered something like that because...
Well, you could feed your own mind at any point. Brunswick has that. It's called Throwbot.
No shit.
Throwbot can mimic any bowler exactly. The problem is, in bowling, with every single shot that is thrown, which by the way, since Throwbot throws the ball exactly the same every time, Throwbot cannot shoot 300.
Because of the oil breakdown or something?
Exactly, because if you hit exactly what you're looking at the arrows and at the break point, 12 shots in a row, it won't wind up in the same place 12 shots in a row. A few of them will start to go through the nose or overhook. But anyway, that's the problem when it comes to when they try and do comparative videos of different companies' products on Throwbot. Because even from shot 1 to shot 2, on shot 2, you're not giving that ball the same chance because of the variables that now exist after shot 1 has already been thrown. Unless you throw the one shot and you re-oil the lane.
Oil the lanes again, yeah.
And then now you have to hope that they're oiled exactly the same because now there's human errors if it's not lined up at the foul line correctly, and it's so hard to measure.
You can never get an exact measurement due to the variables of just what bowling is, which have always been. And maybe they got to start talking more about that stuff instead of bowling. I don't mean this. I don't know. I'm just thinking of how to explain the sport, how to show off its athletic prowess, and how to get people watching again. But they didn't have to do that back then. I don't know. I mean, did they have machines back in the 70s? Oiling machines, or did they have just a squirt gimmick thing for bug spray or something?
Pretty sure. I don't know when the first lane machine came out. I can check, but in the early 70s, I know they did the squirt gun.
Really? And would they it was just to protect the lanes, really. It wasn't. So talk about being an athlete, man.
I'm looking.
I don't. So that's true. Even to test the variables of the same bowling ball, you have to move a board left or something like that and change an angle to see, and stuff that's so immeasurable without a freaking physics degree, really.
It looks like it's around that time, Doc.
Damn, I know my shit. And the machines were programmed to put oil in certain spots, I guess, at that point, or were they it was just to put oil down to protect the lane? I mean, I don't know. I'm a life coach. That's what I do.
Back in the day.
Yeah, originally.
Sorry, Johnny. Back in the day when I used to hang out at Bradley Bowl because my mom worked there, I'd watch them put the oil machine down. And to me as a kid, I'm watching this go down, I don't know, 25 feet, 30 feet. It was a short oil pattern, and it would come back. And the entire lane looked glossy. So to me, I didn't know if there was a difference in there's more oil on this board than that board. To me, it looked
clean, basically.
It looked clean. It looked like a Zamboni on ice. So I don't know. Maybe there weren't those kind of patterns back in the 80s. Do you know when that all started, Johnny?
Actual patterns?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was always...
It was always harder for the pros, right?
Yeah, it was.
They took away the miss room out, and they made them a little bit tougher in. So they were never really named patterns, but they toughened up the house shot. They basically gave you less miss room left and right on almost every house shot. There were some bowling centers that were so easy that no matter what they did, the best in the world just destroyed them.
But most people didn't have more than a 190 or 200 average also back in the 70s, right. From what I mean, if you had a 190 average, you were top shit in your bowling alley.
You sure were.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, God, what the heck was I going to say?
Yeah,
oil. We were talking about oil and the patterns. When did they come up with name patterns and whatnot? True patterns, actually, not names.
The name patterns came out in 2001, I want to say, 2002. Right around the time of the introduction of the exempt tour.
That was when the letters started?
Yes.
Ouch is on fire, dude. I'm telling you. Anyways.
Nice work.
Do you know how oil machines work, Johnny? Like how do they put down certain patterns? I mean, back in the day, they didn't have all this computer chips and shit like that. But I mean, like, do you understand how they used to do that? Okay.
I don't know how they did them back in the day.
That's something I'd love to know.
I know that I worked with a Brunswick Authority 22 machine and a Kegel Custodian, and both of those machines, you know, other than just regular maintenance and emptying the dirt tank and, you know, cleaning the sponges and then changing the roller, you could just add the programs by, you know, milliliters per board into the system, and you could save patterns in the machine that way. And then you'd say, today, hey, I want to run this pattern. You could strip the lane, oil it. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say you were talking about the glossy finish. A lot of people don't know this. And contrary to what non-bowlers may think, this was definitely true on wood. It's certainly true on synthetic also. It just looks different. And that when I say wooden synthetic, I mean the surface of the lane.
Yeah.
Shiny, when you see shiny's dry. Dull is oil.
What? Yeah. My head just fucking exploded. No, fuck you. I don't believe that. No. I know.
How do we not believe him? What do you mean you don't believe him?
Drove me nuts too. No. But like when you actually walk up and down on a lane and you're looking for the oil, you're looking to see where the dull section ends and meets the shiny section. That's how you know the length of the pattern. So when you're actually looking at oil, if you're not looking at the reflection of the lights off of the lane, the shiny part is actually the part that has traction on the lane.
Fuck
on a dog, you would think it was flip-flopped.
I feel like I've been lied to my entire life.
Oh my god! Or maybe the lights gave you the presentation that it was glossy, or like that it was.
I was confused the first time, but now you'll see the next time you go in a bowling alley. If you really look at it, or like we just walk up to the foul line when you test the approach, you'll see what I mean.
God damn.
Especially if you get down lane level enough, you could see.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to Camilo Villegas this shit, because then I'm going to look like a toad, and then
my fat ass can't get down there. But I mean, at some point, maybe I will.
Rob will be there. It'll be game 3 before they freaking get the freaking dolly to move him out of the way or something.
Yeah, I'll just bring my laptop. We'll broadcast from me laying on the fucking lane. I don't know what to say. That completely just changes.
That does fuck me up too.
It's a mind fuck. Like that changes everything I thought I knew about bowling since I was 6 years old. Thanks a lot, Johnny. He just pretty much told me that fucking Oach was a doctor.
And well, that's never been proven.
Glad I could help, boys.
That's a great time to take a fucking break. When we come back, I got a special topic that these guys don't know about. So let's take a break, hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Right after this. God damn.
We have sponsors?
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Straight Up 5.
Ocho is old as fuck, so I really don't know how to include him in this conversation, but maybe he can add to it a little bit. It's kind of what he does anyway. He doesn't bring much of value. He just kind of, throws his 2 cents in there. But Johnny, you're younger than him, much, much younger than him. So I know you're a gamer, or you used to be. What are your earliest memories of bowling video games, and which ones were your favorite?
Wow. The first ever bowling video game I played was on Atari. The pins were just little squares.
They were dots, and you could move the bowling ball on some of the levels of them. Oh, my God.
Yes. Then there was a bowling game on regular Nintendo that had, like, you could select one of 4 bowlers, and each bowling ball was a different weight.
Yep.
Or a different color for a different weight. And then Brunswick came out with Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling for PlayStation.
I still have it.
Merged with this company called THQ.
I still have 1 and 2.
You still have it?
Yeah, I got both of them, 1 and 2. Amazing fucking games. Yeah.
I can join in this, by the way. Fuck you, Rob, because I know some shit about this. I'll go next.
They had like all the real-time bowling balls, the interviews with the pros in the game.
Yep.
Even the pros' approaches in the game kind of resembled the way that they threw it, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
those are my favorite bowling games.
They had the Danger Zone, the Speed Zone. I think they had the teal and the purple Rhino Pro.
They had the Speed Demon.
Yep.
I think they had a Quantum on there too.
Yeah, you're right. So I still play that. I still play the second game because it's fucking great. I mean, in the physics of it, no one's ever been able to replicate that kind of game where the physics are pretty much spot on.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a fantastic game. The first one I ever played was on Intellivision. It was actually sponsored by PBA. It was called PBA Bowling, and you had this fucked up looking dude and a side scroller. He'd throw the ball, it would switch to the lane shot, and you'd see this looks like a fucking football, like just going up the lane. But fucking, we played a shit out of it. So that was my earliest memory.
Out. That was the baseball one for Intellivision.
There was. Then Championship Bowling came on NES, I think it was around 1989. And I played the fuck out of that. There was another game on PlayStation 1, I think, called 10-Pin Alley that I really enjoyed. That was
the one I played, 10-Pin Alley, when you throw it and the guy goes,
yeah.
when he makes a spare.
Yeah. Yep. So that game was actually good. I used to play
and they had you could pick different cool bowling alleys, right?
Yes, and you could do cosmic bowling and everything with that one.
And the characters were all fucking weird and over the top. Yeah.
You guys
that game was great.
Yeah, it was.
I've got the Atari. I don't have it. I played the Atari one, which is it's a side view actually, and it's left to right, and it's awful, but it's Atari, so whatever. It killed time. And then on the Commodore 64, there was a game called 10th Frame, and it was vertical, and it was Commodore 60. It was almost like Summer Games graphics. It was decent. It didn't. You just threw it in the same spot. You had to hit your arrow. You'd move, and then you'd hold the joystick, and then you let the joystick go, and it would throw the ball. Then on the Commodore, there was a game called Indoor Sports, and it had bowling and darts and ping pong. And I was in a body cast, and my friend, rest in peace, Libs, lent me his discs, and I still have them in my attic to this day. I never gave it back to him. That was 1987. That had bowling in it too. And that one actually, the pin action was shockingly good. Where like sometimes a pin slides over literally on its base, which you see every once in a while, and shit like that. And I was like, man, I can't believe this. The 10th Frame was good, but you couldn't really tell what was what. It just looked like a bunch of teeth in the background. But Indoor Sports, man, you're a dick. And to think I wouldn't know. And then 10-Pin Alley, of course.
No, 10-Pin Alley was great. I'm actually going to watch videos of that on YouTube just to. Because I don't think I have the game anymore. But, PS2 never really had any decent bowling games. Like, they almost kind of just went downhill and got worse from there. I don't think Xbox... I
thought they had a sponsored one, and they had people's faces and everything, then that was the last one they ever had.
It's possible.
It might have been like...
there were some Brunswick games after the PS1.
You know what it might have been, though? It might have been like when the PBA was like Lumber Liquidators or something like that. Like it might have been, or I'm a little off, but like it might have been like something presents PBA. It wasn't EA Sports or anything, but it had like Parker and Walter Ray. Like it had like it was like be your own guy or be one of the pros, but it never gained any traction. It never went anywhere. They never had a part deux anything.
I do remember that like bowling games kind of came back to the forefront and were cool again when Nintendo Wii first came out, because you're able to use the Wii controllers and mimic a bowling motion, and a lot of people got back into that, and it was kind of a cool way to play the game that we had never seen before, right, Johnny?
Oh yeah, we spent many an hour in college. Me and my wife at the time had purchased a Wii, and we would bowl every night. We would have bowling parties on that.
How many TVs did you break because you didn't put the handle around your freaking?
I actually never ran into that problem.
That's
Really?
good.
I got very lucky. She was always the one that was going to let it loose because she was fucking nuts and crazy competitive.
I had a friend break his leg
she was
playing Wii tennis. He broke his fucking ankle.
Oh my God! His ankle.
Yeah.
Did he have to run for it? Like that doesn't make sense.
He was all over. He was drunk. He was all over the fucking house playing the game, and
Probably rolled his ankle on a tennis ball that he saw on the floor.
It blew up to like a fucking. It was like a redwood, dude. Like his fucking ankle just blew up playing Wii tennis. But yeah, no, that was the Wii made games like that kind of fun again. It was almost like a workout, which for me, that's the only workout I ever got. I do remember. I think maybe what Ocho was talking about. There was two games for the Xbox. One was PBA Pro Bowling.
It was Xbox. I thought it was way before that. I have no clue.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shit.
Maybe you weren't talking about that. But there was a PBA Pro Bowling 2021, which came out in 2020 for the Switch, the Xbox One, the PS4, Windows. So I mean, they're still making bowling games, but I don't know if there's any real attraction for it anymore. Johnny, do you remember? Maybe Ocho remember better. There was an arcade game where it had like a little fucking like rollerball gimmick that you just fucking spin forward with your thumbs. Do you remember the name of that?
Like Golden Tee? Was it like Golden Tee?
It was like that, but it was bowling, and I can't remember the fucking name of it.
I never.
Johnny, do you remember something like that?
I don't. I remember the game
because we had it in our arcade at Bradley, so which is funny because bowling game in a bowling alley. When you just do the real fucking thing. But I do remember that. Like you'd spin the roller ball, and the fucking the ball would either shoot left or right, or if you were really good at it, you would get to go straight. But there wasn't any hooking involved or anything like that. It's kind of a primitive game, but it was still fun to play.
World Class Bowling.
I think that's it. Let me look it up here. Bowling
so game. The one I was talking about is actually
bowling
called
arcade game.
The one I was talking about it was called Brunswick Pro Bowling. So maybe it only had Brunswick guys on there for PlayStation 2.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So it might have been. Maybe that's why. Oh wait, Parker. Oh yeah, Parker does work for.
Yeah, Parker, Randy, Mark Roth, my dad. Amleto, Walter Ray, they were all in that game.
Yeah, well, okay, so there you go. That's the one I was talking about. I never played it.
Never played it. Well, you suck.
I never bought it either. Well, I mean, what the fuck, man? I had 10 frame and 10-pin Halley. I was good.
I think the one I'm thinking of was called Capcom Bowling. Now that I look at the pictures of it.
That actually rings a bell, too.
Yep.
I only know that I played World Class Bowling because last time I went home, my sister and her husband took me to an arcade in like this cool town that they go to somewhere in Jersey, up north, and it was in there, and I said, "Holy shit, I haven't played this since I was 10."
Let me save this picture.
It wasn't Silver Strike Bowling, was it, Rob?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe there were several different kinds. I do remember Capcom for sure. And I think that was one we had at the bowling alley. But to me, it was kind of a cool concept. But you had to be really, really good at it, be able to fucking flick that ball straight. I mean, Ocho would never be good at that because, he always hangs to the left anyway. But, over the years, bowling video games have always brought me joy. And very few games have been able to kind of capture the spirit of bowling and have the correct physics. Which still blows my mind how somebody could just program ones and fucking zeros and be able to make a game and make accurate like pin physics. Because even like the Brunswick games that we were talking about, the Circuit Pro Bowling, you could fucking bury a shot, the righty and leave a fucking 10-pin. Like dead nuts, fucking like your meters that you have to stop the little fucking like in front of the arrows or whatever would be dead on. You dead nuts bury the shot and leave a 10-pin, which happens in real fucking bowling. So that still it blows my mind how somebody could actually program that.
I remember leaving solid 8 pins and throwing messengers in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really, really amazing how they did that.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite part, I think it was maybe the second game, was the skins competition, where you would try to strike. If you did, if both players strike, they'd carry over their skin, or if both got a spare, they carry it over. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a cool thing, to play with your buddies. And I want to say they had it wasn't a skills competition, but it was like maybe a spare competition where they'd set up different splits and shit like that, and you'd have to try to convert them to win the frame. So it was a really, really good game.
I still have Super Tecmo Bowl.
Nobody cares.
Great game.
That is a great game.
He cares.
No, it is a great game. But Ocho, still plays on his Nintendo on his little fucking 20-inch CRT screen, which nobody has anymore. But hey, Ouch, that's
resourceful, man.
If that's what makes you happy, dude. That shit. Who needs HD? Just live in the 80s, pal.
Dude, I played Commodore Donkey Kong on a 48-inch television. You haven't lived until you've done that, or playing summer games on a freaking 48-inch TV. Sure, it takes an hour for the game to load up, but that's not the point. A world record holder in skeet shooting, still to this day.
Do you guys remember the game Track and Field by Konami? Obviously, you must, right?
I can get it. I get the freaking skeet shooting every time, and I get the spaceship, and I can hit the bird 3 times
with a javelin.
2750 you can get. Not that I played it recently. My nephew and I still play that game.
And you used to have it was like 45 degrees was like the perfect angle for like long jump and shit like that.
For a long jump or for the javelin, it goes, you got the 100 meters, then you got the long jump, then you got the hurdles, then you got the javelin, then you got your skeet shooting.
Yep.
Then there's the triple jump.
Yep.
And then there's the high jump, and then there's maybe that's it. I can't remember.
Why do we still remember?
One more. Bow and arrows, archery.
Yes, that's right. Which actually, that was kind of fun. Why do we still remember this shit, Johnny?
Because we're idiots. All right, go ahead.
Time of my life.
Yeah, for sure. Just making you feel like a kid again.
Dude, I can hit that freaking ding.
I hated that shit.
And every time I do it, my arm goes up every time for some reason. I keep going higher and higher.
It's got one.
My friend used to make fun of me.
It's got one fucking button that you had to hit to run, and one to fucking jump.
You
right?
get the two. No,
not in the arcade.
No, you had the 2, and then the middle one was jump.
Are you sure? I thought there was only one.
What am I sure? I just played this thing on a Yestercades for 2 years ago before this.
No, you're right. You're right. Because I remember somebody used to put like a comb across the 2 buttons and just fucking that supposedly help them tap
what an idea.
Tap it faster.
But remember Nintendo, so you had to hit A and B, and you just got to do it, and then you hit the up button. Oh man, I should have brought it. It's in my house in Howell in the basement. In case usually every Thursday after bowling, no, I never do that. What am I talking about?
Come on.
We don't sit in the basement and play track and field. What kind of a question is that?
I miss those old games like fucking pole position and shit like that. Where
we got that, super sprint, and golf.
You could spin the fucking wheel when you go around the corners like as fast as you can, and you wouldn't hit anything. Like that was the shit, dude. I used to always try to get my name in the fucking. At the end, the 3 letters you just fucking type.
Yeah, who knew they unplugged the machine at the end of the day? The assholes.
Yeah, just fucking all your records are gone.
I'd be like, how does it remember? But it's a freaking computer that just stays plugged in, and then they unplug it and you start over.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah, cocksuckers.
Is this about bowling again?
Ish.
This is way more fun.
Maybe we just change the concept of the show then.
We couldn't have run out already. We did 12 shows where we talked about bowling. We couldn't have run out.
I mean, how much else can you say about bowling? We covered balls, we covered lanes, we covered oil, we covered tournaments.
All right, well, we get there. I'm lined up, and I throw a strike in the first frame, and the lane breaks down. We had to move. And for the first time in the history of house bowling, the outside was flooded on the pair that we moved on to.
Oh, no shit.
So nobody shot. Actually, the other team shot a big number the last game, but it was a grind. I was 5 boards to the right of where I normally am, and I grinded out like a 590 something, and I was exhausted afterwards. I couldn't get. I left so many corner pins. It was just a joke. But anyway, that's what my week was. Since we did say we talk about league, so there you go.
Johnny, how about you? How'd you shoot last week?
I bowled. I didn't bowl last Thursday, but last Tuesday I shot 788 with back-to-back 270s the first 2 games, and then it just everything felt good. Last night I bowled the most consistently inconsistent 3 games you could possibly bowl. I shot 230, 220, 210 for like 660 something, 668. And 15 of my 30 shots were like the worst shots I've ever thrown. And the other 20 some odd shots were like the best shots I've ever thrown.
Interesting.
I had I went like 2 for 6 with a grand slam, a 3-run homer, and 4 strikeouts backwards K.
Right, it's like you shot 5 over, but it was 20 over on the front and 15 under on the back, basically.
Right, exactly.
Did you bowl better? Like, were you drinking? Did you get better as you got looser during the night? I mean, like, what was the reasoning why you got better?
I did pursue some cocktails yesterday. I've made it my Tuesday thing, and I think that because what happened was I went to work, I went to the gym, I ate, and then I got to the bowling alley an hour early and knew that I wasn't driving home. So after the gym and eating and all that and being all fucking pumped up, I decided I wasn't going to smoke weed at all until I got home later that night. And I drank a little bit extra. So I think by the time I got to the lanes, I was so juiced up that I was probably going a little bit faster than normal. Plus, the huge stab for me, we bowled unopposed last night. The team we were bowling is doing a makeup.
So you're going faster.
So were you just bowling like nonstop? You weren't even getting a break to have your drink?
No. We keep pace with the league. But for me, part of what makes me good at bowling is
wanting to beat the other guy. Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
It's harder to just beat numbers.
It's the same reason I hit better in batting practice from a real pitcher as opposed to a batting cage with a machine.
Yeah.
Like I need something there,
I totally understand that.
So when you're playing darts, you want to hit somebody as opposed to just hitting a dartboard. I mean, I get that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I hate darts.
Yeah. That's fucking great. Well, that's a great way to end the show on. I promise you guys, we're getting Johnny on social media. I am just so fucking busy with all the other podcasts and everything I do. Still trying to spend time with my wife and family, but we're going to get Johnny on there.
He's not doing that. He hasn't done any of that. He does these podcasts. He thinks he has a wife. I don't even know if she exists. Who knows?
I don't even know if she exists anymore either. I don't even know if she's still downstairs.
Apparently, Brad Shepard is his wife. And
but I do have 6 podcasts. I do have 6 podcasts with more on the way. Including one.
Yeah, they're moronic, all right.
Including one with Ocho. We're actually going to be doing a Rocky show from the movie series. No, we are. We are.
It's not happening.
I'd like to join that one.
Sure, absolutely, you could. We're going to break it down movie by movie.
We'll probably talk bowling on that whole freaking show.
Yeah.
I'm a Rocky fanatic. That would be a fantastic conversation.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm glad I brought it up. Then
we'll mix in some people. I feel like.
Yeah. No.
You want to know what I almost ordered? Because I scrolled past it on Facebook, but then I decided, is this like too much for me to own? Remember,
he says it's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about. Oh, go ahead.
Remember in Rocky IV when he's wearing the Italian flag like tracksuit, like the velour tracksuit with
when he's in Russia?
Stripes? No, he's at home. It's all black.
Oh, yes.
Got the
That's
Italian
when he's
flag on the
isn't he
shoulders.
washing the car with that part?
Yeah.
Is that where yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's
Balboa,
got like a
Mr. Creed's on
silhouette
the
of
phone.
him in the middle, like this.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
They're selling it. I fucking almost bought it.
Wow. The real thing, huh?
No, just
Oh, okay, all right.
A replica.
Okay. Hey, you never know. I mean, Johnny's
Dude, he's probably going to buy the robot.
Paulie's robot.
Nah, Rochelle would buy the robot.
Yeah. We'll definitely have you on that show. We'll be starting it, I think, in March, somewhere around there. So we'll definitely have you on. Fuck off, Ocho. He shook his head. It's something actually Ocho's going to enjoy doing because he hates doing my other show. Like, absolutely fucking hates it. But anyway, we'll get Johnny on social media, and we'll let you know what that account is, and you can interact with him, send him questions. You could even join him on Facebook. You can ask him questions there, or you can email us again at straightup5@gmail.com. And, I think this is going to be a really good year for all of us. It's kind of reignited Johnny's passion in bowling, and even if we don't talk bowling, obviously from the last couple of weeks, we still have great conversations, because it's like three friends, talking, and you guys get to be a fly on the wall. So it's kind of a neat deal. Ocho, what are you doing? Ocho.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
What's your Twitter handle?
I don't know.
God damn it. It's at the Dr. Ocho on Twitter. He doesn't have an Instagram because he doesn't even know what that is. So just send him a message on Twitter. He won't answer you. He probably won't even follow you, but you can still try.
I might answer. I'll probably write something in my. Well, look, I'm an angry guy. So
yeah, you just don't like anybody, really. You guys can follow.
No reason to.
No, you don't. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RadRobGaming. Johnny, do you have an Instagram at all?
No, but I have started a TikTok.
Oh, Christ.
And it's under somebody else's name, but I'm going to put out a little video thread with some of the videos that we've taken at my buddy's site to promote us a little bit more on there. But currently, no, only on Facebook and TikTok currently.
So the TikTok isn't even in your name, so we don't even know how to get to it.
Nope.
That's fantastic. That's
right.
Smart marketing. This is something that bowlers do, apparently.
I'm glad you brought that up. The world's worst marketing.
You have to even look. This is a big thing. For
this
me
is a step. This is a step.
Baby steps.
So no, apparently, they've been following my videos. I've been averaging close to like 6,000 to 10,000 views. So I actually started drafting a couple pieces for us.
Ocho.
So to add, and then we're going to create my TikTok handle and put it all together.
Fucking
I meant to tell you guys that.
Well, maybe people will actually listen to the show then. That'd be fantastic.
And they can go back and listen to the old ones too.
Yeah, especially the one with your dad.
Or the ones where we talked about bowling.
Yeah, there's that too. In any event, guys,
it's just paperwork.
Whoever's listening, all 14 of you, we do appreciate you listening to the show each and every week whenever we decide to be on here. And I think we'll be back next week for another edition of Straight Up 5 right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network. See you next time. God damn it. Fuck.
Fucking idiot.
Shut up, Bocho.
Gee, why does no one listen? Christ.
It's now time.
God.
Oh, my God.
Where's the fucking outro?
Welcome back.
Nope.
Oh, my God.
It's now.
Nope.
Just call me Oucho.
Thanks for listening to Straight Up 5. If you would like to send your questions into Johnny Jr., send us an email at straightup5@gmail.com. That's straight up FIVE@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa Welcome Bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.